All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. My name is Eric Paulzine with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting to the top value plays here for week 2. And guys, I have some really strong value plays that I am very excited to get into. So without further ado, let's take a trip to Value Town. All right, so the first value play I want to touch on is actually going to be Chase Claypool. Now, yes, both of these offenses in this game, the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers, both did not look good, okay? But the Steelers did manufacture a lot of plays to go Chase Claypool's way, whether that be quick dump-offs or just end-around plays. He had 6 rushing attempts, 6 targets, 12 total opportunities in that game. He only scored 9.4 DK points, but if he's going to continue to get that usage at this price point with possibly Najee Harris out, that is something that intrigues me. At 4.7, he's a decent value play. If you guys end up on him, I'm perfectly fine with that. After that, we're going to get into the Jets running back, Michael Carter. Michael Carter got used a lot last week, okay? And the biggest worry with him is going to be the matchup going against the Cleveland Browns, okay? But Michael Carter, guys, 10 rushing attempts, 9 total targets in that game, 7 receptions, had 17 DK points. He looked very good doing that, and part of this play is just Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco did not see the field past 15 yards down the field, okay? So that means we probably should get a lot more dump-offs going to Michael Carter, and I will say his teammate, Breece Hall, also was used a lot in the passing game as well. So those dump-offs do seem to be something that is going to be there throughout this whole game. And now one of the biggest deep dive values that you're going to get on this slate. We got Ashton Doolin, okay? Ashton Doolin most likely is going to play for Alec Pierce, who currently has a concussion. So if Alec Pierce does play, then that makes Ashton Doolin not as good of a play, and maybe you just play Alec Pierce instead. Ashton Doolin came into that second half game and played a lot of snaps, and he had 6 targets in that game, 3 receptions, 46 yards. He had a couple of plays in which he could have scored a touchdown on. He had one in the back of the end zone where he's trying to get both feet down, and as a result, he bobbles it and then just drops it pretty much. He had another play in which he did catch it and got down at the 2-yard line. The plays were there for him, is my point. If he's going to play a little bit more playing time, I like that. And then also, given the fact that I don't want to say he's the same player as Curtis Samuel, but he's kind of that type of player where, a short, quick guy that you want to get the ball to fast if he's going to make some plays. I could see the Indianapolis Colts watching that film from how Curtis Samuel was able to dominate the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they draw up some plays for a player like Ashton Doolin. So at 3.2, he's a player that's going to be low owned, but also could easily get like 12 DK points for you on this slate. Speaking of Curtis Samuel, guys, Curtis Samuel is priced at 4.6. Okay, that is a great price point. He's a guy that had 11 targets, 8 receptions, 55 yards in the passing game, but also had 4 rushing attempts, 17 yards. Okay, if we were to get like a running back at this price point for 4.6, getting 16 total opportunities or so, that's 15 opportunities, I guess, that'd be highly intriguing. And this is a game that you want to stack. This is a game that actually has a pretty high over and under, and it's a game that you can easily stack. At 4.6, if Curtis Samuel is going to be getting targeted 10 or so times, which, let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen again. 7 targets is what I would be like projecting or hoping for. Even if he gets that at this price point, he should be able to hit value. At this price point, he should be able to get to like 12 to 16 DK points. And at 4.6, Curtis Samuel is a play that should have a safe floor, but is also a play that could have a nice, 20-point game once again if he scores a touchdown. A lot of the beat reporters in Washington were saying that this could happen in week 1, and we actually saw that come to fruition. So it's weird, but the offense kind of flowed through Curtis Samuel, and at 4.6, that is just something I cannot ignore this week. Sticking with the Washington Commanders, I actually really like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, once again, in this game, it's a game that you can easily game stack. It's a game that does have a decently high over and under, and Carson Wentz was very sharp last week. Okay, he was one of the most impressive quarterbacks last week across the NFL. He put on the ball where he needed to. That Terry McLaurin touchdown was awesome. Jahan Dotson had one easy touchdown and one like perfectly placed ball where only Jahan Dotson could go out and get it. Carson Wentz looked sharp, except for he had 3 terrible plays. He had 3 typical Carson Wentz plays. 2 of them resulted in interceptions, but Carson Wentz played a fine game at 5.8 in a game that is one that we want to attack. He could easily get to 20 DK points. He could easily hit value at this price point. And if you guys want to stack Carson Wentz and Curtis Samuel together, that is a route that I think makes a lot of sense. All right, another value play receiver that I actually like a decent amount is going to be Ben Skoranek there. Ben Skoranek had 4 targets, 4 receptions, 25 yards. Okay, he actually played a lot of snaps. Okay, he played a lot more than I think anyone else was imagining that he would do. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, and Skoranek played, over 50% of the snaps for the Los Angeles Rams. And it's looking like Van Jefferson is going to be out in this game once again. And does it take much for Skoranek to hit value? It doesn't. Like, he could get 6 targets once again. Maybe he catches 5 of those for 50 yards or something stupid like that. could easily happen. And this is an Atlanta Falcons team that just got dominated by Jarvis Landry. And now I expect Cooper Kupp to go out and dominate in this game. Okay, he's like an easy stud core cash play. But maybe Ben Skoranek, there's some room for him to have a great game as well. It wouldn't be shocking to see him get to 10 DK points, and that's really what this play is. It's like not someone you're going out of your way to play, but someone that does have a path to success this week. Another player is going to be Zay Jones for the Jacksonville Jaguars. At priced at 4.3, that's pretty intriguing to me. So I do want to start off with saying all the Jaguars receivers played over 80% of the snaps, and it does look like this offense is going to flow through a 3-receiver set, mixing in James Robinson and Travis Etienne a lot. With that, any one of the 3 receivers can have a big week. Okay, that could easily happen. So at that same thought process, why not just pay for the cheapest one? Zay Jones, who had 9 targets, 6 receptions, and 65 yards. Obviously, they paid a lot of money to him this offseason, and he is someone that they obviously like. He fits the offensive flow a lot as well. At 4.3, Zay Jones is a player that makes a lot of sense. The biggest issue with any of the Jacksonville Jaguars receivers is Trevor Lawrence kind of struggling with accuracy issues. He had Marvin Jones open on what could have been like a 50-yard play or possibly even a touchdown. He also missed a couple of other touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence is the player that kind of hinders a little bit of their play when he's a little bit inaccurate, but Zay Jones is going to get targeted a decent amount. He's a player that I like a lot this week as well. He's a great pay down play for you. Getting back into that Los Angeles Rams game, trying to find some more value, you got Tyler Higbee. Okay, Tyler Higbee had 11 targets in this game, 5 receptions, 39 yards. He was on the field a ton. Okay, more than Darrell Henderson, more than Cam Akers, and just as much as Allen Robinson. He was on the field a ton. So it's no shock that he had 11 targets. That's just not too shocking at all. The kind of shocking part is that he had 11 targets and wasn't able to produce. I mean, he was 8.9 at 4.2 on DraftKings. We'll absolutely take that. Is going to be enough to hit value. Okay, we're going against the Atlanta Falcons, who once again just got torched in the passing game. Now, sure, Taysom Hill went off against them, listed as a tight end. That doesn't really count. Okay, but I'm looking at what Jarvis Landry did, okay, across the middle routes, which is where Tyler Higbee will be operating. I like that. You look at what Michael Thomas was able to do with a couple of back shoulder catches. Now, that'll probably benefit Allen Robinson more. They might take a couple of fade shots in the end zone to Allen Robinson because that's kind of his specialty. But that actually might result in Tyler Higbee maybe getting a look in a fade red zone target as well. Either way, at 4.2 for a guy that's playing that much in a game that is going to be high scoring, I think, in an offense that should be able to score 4 touchdowns, Tyler Higbee is a play that makes a lot of sense at 4.2. Sticking with the Tylers at the tight end play, I actually really love Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin played in 91% of the Jets' offensive snaps last week. He had 7 targets in that game. Now, yes, the Jets threw the ball a lot more than they wanted to. Okay, so he probably won't average 7 targets per game, but it was expected that he would kind of be used a lot in this offense. Okay, so we're getting a tight end that played in 91% of the snaps, had 7 targets and a touchdown, albeit that was lucky that was at the end of the game. But at 3.4, to get a player like that, that is something I just can't pass up on. Should he score points? He should. Okay, 5 DK points, that's within the realm of possibilities. And when you're punting at tight end for value, you really just don't want to miss at all. You don't want to get a 0. Okay, so if he can get 5 DK points for us with the possibility of maybe getting more than that, I'm all aboard that. I like that a lot. And then my last value is going to be a player not on the main slate. Well, I got 2. I got Kyle Phillips if he plays. He had 9 targets, okay, with the Tennessee Titans. That should be a fine play for you. And then I also like Christian Watson for the Green Bay Packers. You talk about what Jamar Chase did early on in the preseason and in camp last year with his drop issues. He made people quickly forget about that. That was Christian Watson's first live reps, okay, at all. He dropped a touchdown, okay? We know it. We all saw that. But honestly, in your first NFL game, being wide open for a touchdown, that is a lot of pressure there for your first live rep. Some people were worried about Jamar Chase last year with the drop issues, but he quickly had those issues go away. I think Christian Watson is going to have those issues go away. He played 1 less snap than Sammy Watkins, who played the most receiver snaps for the Packers. He could be a decent play for you on the slate as well. But that's all I have for you guys for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a lot, which thus helps me help you guys out. So let's have a good weekend as always, guys. Let's keep cash.